What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here, back with another episode, another Scummers on Oneers with Singer here. We are in for a shorter episode, in theory. Because let me tell y'all, I fell down the stairs this morning, and it's been like a rough week in general, but that really just kind of topped it off. So we're gonna make this show short and sweet, and then I'm getting out of here. Okay. So what's up, Stardust, Chief Godstaff, Spencer, and Dandy, Spider-Man? All right, let's go ahead. Singer, hello.
Hello. It's a very, very good day today.
Yes, yes, it is. It's a good day to be. It's a good day to die. What's
I
that
wish
from?
something died, but yeah.
You wish what died?
I wish something died, but we'll get into that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started with these topics. So, Starfield. We officially get a release date for Starfield. What's the date?
September the I don't know. First week of September.
Sometime in September. I didn't bother watching that Todd Howard video because I know he released a little clip of himself talking. First of all, Todd Howard, probably my let's see here, my third favorite liar, right behind Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer. You know what I'm saying? No particular order for Jim and Jim and Phil. They like to flip flop in terms of like being my favorite liar, but Todd is up there with being one of my favorite liars. So I was like, I'm just not gonna watch this. Um, uh it was supposed okay, first of all, initially it was supposed to come out November 2022. Yeah. It was supposed to come out November 2022, and then it got delayed into the first quarter of 2023, and then it was delayed again. Now, I had some people in my comment section like, how's it delayed if we didn't have a release date? It was delayed because they said it was going to come out in the first quarter or the first few months, the first half. I don't know what word they use, but it was the first half of the year. Okay, is September in the first half of the year, Singer?
Nope.
Okay, so therefore it was delayed. Like these brainlets in my goddamn comment section trying to argue semantics with me. You know exactly what they said, and you know what I fucking meant too. Anyway, it got an official release date for September of 2023, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm excited for it because I'm not. Uh, I gotta wait to see and get my hands on it. I'm a big fan of Bethesda titles. I love Fallout 4. I have several, not seven, several hours in the game, amongst other things. And I like Skyrim, and then I like the studios under them. Like I just recently beat Dishonored, and I like Wolfenstein. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a big fan of Bethesda titles, so I am looking forward to Starfield. I'm not going to say I'm excited at this point. I'm just going to say I'm looking forward to it. And I can't wait to see what they show us at the little showcase they plan on doing for the game. And yeah, but there were some people who were not feeling the same way that I was feeling, which was mostly apathy. Okay. There were other people who were just like, how dare Microsoft once again trick their fan base, like some nonsense like that. Enrique was talking about, what did he say? What did he say? Something about like how Xbox influencers give Microsoft the okay to do certain things. But like this was in relation to them delaying Starfield, and I'm just like, what's the big deal, man? Like, who cares if they delayed Starfield? It is what it is. The bigger conversation could be Xbox and um their sketchy lineup over the last couple years, right? We could talk about that, but like delaying a game in general, it's not really a problem, in my opinion. Singer.
All right. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it because this year, 2023, it's stacked for Xbox first party. We're finally getting the some of the games. You started with Hi-Fi Rush, then you have Minecraft Legends, then you have Redfall. You don't want to bunch up too much stuff. You need to space this shit out, otherwise they'll start tripping over each other.
Mm-hmm.
So polish up and make sure Starfield could be as good as it could possibly get. So push it. That's fine. Because in between Starfield and Redfall, Forza is going to land somewhere in between. So those couple of months, I would imagine, like July or something. Um, or you could drop it at E3 and say, "Oh, Forza's available now." Whatever. And then presuming if Hellblade is by all indications still coming out this year, then that could be a fall game. So there we go. I mean, it's a solid year. Um,
Yeah, in
I'm
theory.
in
In
theory.
theory.
I mean,
Last year was supposed to be a solid year 2 singer, so
even
we'll
if
see.
Hellblade don't come out, I mean, we'll have more first party this year than we would have had in the last 2 years. So, I mean, it's got to count for something, right?
Not
Um,
really, but we all have faith in different ways, I guess.
and then I'm super excited for Starfield because it's Todd Howard's next big RPG, and I've played more. I played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. I played Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. Like I'm here for a big Bethesda RPG. It's always been the way. It always will be the case. I know Todd tells sweet little lies, but I always enjoy the game that comes out afterwards. So
Mhm.
it just is. It is what it is. So take all the time, polish it, make it look in spick and span. There's gonna be bugs. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it. And everyone hating, you probably weren't going to play the game anyway, and you probably have never played a Bethesda RPG in your life. You're just hating because it was supposed to be a PlayStation timed exclusive. Phil Spencer came in, dropped his dig on the table, and said, "Nah, we're having this exclusive, fam." And now you're all mad because you can't play on your PlayStation. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay,
it, yeah, go on.
all right, so shout out to Drawn TJ with hi Luca, hi panel, what's up? Okay, so what's up, Surgeant, Sentinel Gaming, Corey, Butch. Damn, Luca. Damn, give people a chance to come in first, Luca, before ending the show. Okay. Spencer for saying it's September 6th. Thank you. Paul, Phil, Blue Moon, Sonic, Geekhead, Sycamore, Cassie, Lionel, Breesky, Lynch, Yobi Mabui, uh, John, Raja. What's up, Uni? All right, what's up? Yes, please hit the like button. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there were some people talking about how this is a listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't be paying attention to what y'all be doing in the community anymore. Okay. I don't know what's going on most of the time. I look at my timeline confused most days. I'm like, okay, I read through stuff, out of context. I'm just like, what is going on? I have no idea what's happening. And maybe I like it that way. I don't know. Cuz I honestly like I don't see why this is a big deal cuz if Starfield came out and it was a broken, buggy, disgusting mess, um which to be fair, it's Bethesda, it might still be that, who knows. But like if it came out and it had a bunch of issues, people like, how dare Xbox release this broken, buggy game? Why didn't Xbox give the developers the space to delay the game? Why didn't Xbox go to Todd Howard and them and put their foot down like you need to delay this game? That kind of thing. I'm just like, they can't win. They can't win. And in my opinion, again, I don't think delays are ever really an issue. I think it's an issue is if you don't know what to expect, right? Example, oh my god. Callisto got delayed, right? Initially.
Uh,
I don't remember. I think Callisto initially got delayed. Ask me if I remember, bitch. I'm not
Forspoken got
100%
delayed,
sure.
and that shit still came out trash.
Oh yeah, Forspoken did good. All right, yeah. Oh, actually,
I
you know what? Let me use a better example. Cyberpunk 2077. That game got delayed like twice, and that second delay, I'm not gonna lie, I did a video on it. Was I a little bit heated? Mostly because I was just like, what's going on with this game? I was very, very concerned because I was just like, what are you like shoveling lies into my mouth? Pause. Like what's happening here, right? I was very concerned with that. And I was just like, I guess we'll just wait and see. But why is Bethesda called Bugthesda? They're called Bugthesda because their games release broken and buggy. So I know what to expect with this Starfield. Therefore, my only real surprise is that they're even delaying it. Like I could have thought for sure they just throw it out there, like whatever. I guess even though they didn't directly work on Fallout 76, maybe they were just like, let's actually make sure this game works a little bit when we put it out there. In theory, we'll see if it does. I mean, am I holding my breath for it to actually work properly? No. Singer, are you holding your breath? Do you think it's going to work?
I think because they deleted the amount I think it's going to come out. It's going to be, now this thing doesn't count for much. I think this will be the most polished, but less buggy Bethesda main studio title they've ever released. I mean, it's not going to come with what Fallout. It's going to be less buggy than Fallout 4 and Skyrim. I'm putting it out there right now. This is going to be less buggy. There's going to be bugs, but it's going to be less buggy than their previous games.
Yeah, we'll see on that one. So whatever. Okay, so I know, Leaky. All right, what's up, True Bleed? What's up, Garcia? Saying, are you going to play Starfield? Yes, I am going to play Starfield. What's up, Red Tsunami? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Forspoken. Okay, Forwoken, as some of the kids like to call it, for flopping. Flop spoken, like what did I call him on Twitter? I don't even know what language I use. Hold on. Flop spoken. Let's talk about flop spoken flopping. Okay, so we had Jay Bari and Cassie on last week. Shout out to them, and shout out to them. And Bari was talking about how, we don't know for sure if the game sold well or was a flop. You know what I'm saying? Well, it turns out Square Enix came out and they're just like, listen, the sales were lackluster. They were lackluster, and shit's looking a little spooky. Now, they didn't say that last part. I added it, right? But I feel like when it comes to these titles, us as gamers, I feel like if you've played a lot of games, not even if you've played a lot of games, if you've been in this space for a long time, after a while, you can start to tell if a game's going to have issues or not, or if the game's like something's concerning about the game. First of all, we all took one look. Actually, it wasn't the first showing, but like one of the later showings of Forspoken, we all took a look at it. We're just like, ooh, something's looking a little sketchy about this, but whatever, right? Like a lot of people were skeptical on it from the jump, and then phrase dialogue came out, and people were piling on. I almost said pile driving. Wow. Piling on that, they were hating on her. They were hating on her. Her language, her vernacular, how she likes to talk, whatever, right? And that ended up being a big problem. People were tripping over themselves trying to defend the game. They hate her because she's a black woman, that kind of nonsense. Like people were pulling out all the stops. They were just trying to defend that joint, right? And then they came out with a demo, and I played the demo, and I was just like, not for me. Like I was just like, I'm not playing this game. Like I'm not buying it. I'm not, giving them my hard-earned money. It's just not for me. I'm not interested in it personally, but I hope that y'all enjoy, right? Now, I don't think I've ever said one bad word about Forspoken as a game. I don't even know. I don't think I've said one bad word about Forspoken as a game. I feel like I've just talked about what other people have said. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really know too much about the game because I had no interest in playing it at this point. People talked about the combat being good, and people talked about phrase dialogue. And did anyone say the story was good? Maybe Jay Bari and Persona did. I don't know, because I kept scrolling because I was like, I don't care about Forspoken, right? So it is what it is, man. It flopped. It's unfortunate. Luminous Productions or Studios, whichever they're called, they were shut down and absorbed back into this fold of Square Enix. You know what I'm saying? And what's this Flomo?
Yeah, what up?
All right. Shout out to Joe saying, I killed a studio with my freaking game, LaFlop, because in the dialogue it was like, what's up, Sly? But in the dialogue it was like, oh my god, I just set bitch, I don't fucking remember
I
what
did
she was saying.
something with my mind.
Did something in my mind, set something on fire. I don't know. But yeah, the game was just like, again, I feel like as gamers, we can tell if the game's gonna have something about it where we're just like, I'm not sure about that. Now, whether or not you decide to actually go forward and play the game yourself, despite whatever issues, that's another story entirely, right? I mean, I'll give an example. I personally I'm a big fan of Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2 is my favorite out of the Dragon Age franchise. Dragon Age 2 has some major issues, okay? The dungeons were copy and paste,
Hmm.
and they were garbage, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
They
just pretend like this is a different area. Like even though the dialogue will talk like this is a completely different area that you've been in like 20 times already. Just pretend we're just going to pretend like it's not the exact same area. Just like no,
exactly.
that
So,
doesn't work.
it has some major issues, but I personally love the game, even if some gamers do not. Some gamers, love to bash it. I mean, rightfully so. It has some major issues, but me personally, I love the game, regardless of how other people may feel about it. The same with Destiny. I mean, don't get me wrong, Destiny is an extremely popular franchise, right? But there are still a lot of Destiny detractors who just like to, no, 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 I'm just gonna bash the game. Like, shut up, okay? Nobody wants to hear any of that shit, right? But there's a lot of
Plenty of people like to hear what I have to say.
okay, there's a lot of Destiny detractors. Do I let the Destiny haters stop me from playing the game? No. I didn't let it happen for years. I stopped playing because I was like, you know what? I'm bored. And I stopped playing it. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with this guy over here. Like if he had his way,
Even though I was
I
speaking
would have
truth the whole entire time. But go
if
ahead, go
if
ahead.
if he had his way, I would have stopped playing years ago. But like I don't typically like at the end of the day, reviews should be a guiding post on whether or not they should give you an idea if a game will be for you. Then you should watch some videos of like the gameplay or whatever if you're not 100% sure, and then maybe pick the game up. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's nothing wrong with I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about a title not doing well, um, even though you didn't play it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see the problem with it. It's just another topic. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a difference between saying um a Forspoken flop, whether you played it or not, and Forspoken is a dumpster fire piece of garbage game and you didn't play it, right? So it's like uh I think also kind of think because there's some people out here that are like, oh, well, you gotta beat the game, you gotta complete the game to critique it or talk about it. I'm like, I'm not writing a review. And if someone isn't liking or enjoying a game, it's like, why should they torture themselves to complete it in order to just speak about it on social media? Like they're not a reviewer who has to actually review and expected to review an entire game. Just like if you ain't like it, you ain't like it, right? But um I think when it comes to this game in particular, Forspoken, like it's an all right game. It's not great. It's not off. It's not like terrible. The combat is good. I do like the abilities and how they synergize with the parkour and the different elements as you kill the Tantas and get their powers and stuff, right? But people are valid in how they feel about the story. I think the story is very blah. I think a lot of the characters are blah, and the main actress, although I think she's
So
freaking
super
gorgeous.
fine,
Oh my god,
beautiful woman.
she's
She's
freaking
so
gorgeous.
pretty.
But
CW show with her win.
yeah, right, right. But like they didn't really give her a lot to work with, and her character is like very. She's a downer. She's always complaining. She's never up on anything. And it's just like you and I have talked about like the main protagonist that is like a bitch or just like straight up just
Yeah,
annoying.
not my
And it's
favorite kind of protagonist, I
yeah,
must
and
admit.
we see this a lot. Like we talked about Dragon Age Absolution, like the main character in that anime on Netflix is like that. And it's just like I don't know what it is with like these stories lately where the main protagonist is intentionally not likable.
I
Like
mean, to
the
be fair, I feel like
personality
it's only a
is.
couple. Like, I don't think there's a lot of media with annoying. main characters.
It's trending that way. It seems to
I hope,
me.
God, I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, I think another one is what's the Scooby Doo train wreck?
Oh my God, Velma.
Velma.
That
Velma's
but
another
that
one like
show
that.
has so many issues. The main character being a piece of shit is like the least of their issues.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just
Yeah, I
using
hear you. No,
examples
that's a good
of kind
example.
of like what her personality type
Mhm,
is.
I agree.
The game isn't as bad as people make it seem to be. It also isn't as great as others try to make it seem. And it's like if you love the game and you had a ball with it, that's great for you. If other people don't feel the same, you can't take your opinions and what you choose is great of a game and then apply that to everyone else, you know. And if someone was high on the game and then they see more of it and they're like, you know what, that's not what I thought it was going to be, that's fine too, you know, because that's just us evaluating how what we like, and then with more information seeing that this isn't what we like, you know. It is what it is. It's excuse me. um, there was something else I wanted to say. I lost my train of thought. I'm
It's the
getting
lack of
old.
sleep.
It is definitely that. You wanna know how late? I'm not gonna say how late I
I
was
need
up
you to
last night.
stop staying up all night, but whatever. Anyway, shout out to Garcia. Garcia's like, Luca, I've never heard you say anything bad about any game you don't have any interest in. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. I don't shit on games I don't fucking play. All right. I only shit on games I've played and I'm just like, absolutely fucking not. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
have more criticism and critique for titles I've actually gone through personally. So,
Reviews. That's it. That's what I was thinking. So my only takeaway from reviews is about performance. If a reviewer
exactly.
is like, man, I could barely get through the game, it performed that badly. Now I'm like, all right, that's got my antennas up. I need to know from the
It's my
developer,
phone.
like, what's going on. Is there a patch to fix this? Now I'm kind of like in a wait and see mode because I'm still wanting to play the game. It's just when I play the game is important because I'm not playing it at launch if it's a super freaking train wreck. But outside of that, I mean, like, y'all get on me all the time for the games that I enjoyed and played. Anthem, um, like you, Dragon Age 2, Luca.
I
Uh,
love Dragon Age too. But yeah,
People hate on the Division all the time. I don't care. Like I play freaking Bleeding Edge. Freaking enjoy Bleeding Edge. It was like a 60 Metacritic. Got completely like lambasted by the entire community. I didn't care. I kept playing it until there was nobody else to play with. So it is what it is. Enjoy the games that you like, and if other people don't like them, it's no big freaking deal. It's just like everyone is going to have their preferences one way or another, and you're going to enjoy games. If especially if you're a gamer, you're going to enjoy games that other people don't enjoy. It's just a fact of life. So just it is what it is.
okay, exactly. So I wanted to talk real quick about this tweet I saw earlier. This is my boy Bam Bam. Shout out to him, good
What's
friend
up, Bam?
of everything. And Bam Bam, listen, Bam Bam, he said, listen, I love seeing the community come together or come to the conclusion that motherfuckers only play games to be part of a conversation. A lot of cats only play games that score high on Metacritic or games that are popular not because they enjoy them, but because of the engagement and follows they get. All right, so I saw Bam post this, and I must admit, I was a little in disagreement with what he said. Because me personally, I am of the mind of what's wrong with people wanting to play a game because it's popular. Now, most people, unless they're slow mo, most people are not gonna beat a game unless they're having some level of enjoyment in it. It takes a very certain kind of
Correction.
individual.
I stopped doing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because
When did you stop
I
doing
don't
that?
want people start saying, "Oh, well, slow mo didn't finish Death Stranding." I will never finish Death Stranding, so you can forget that. It's never going to happen. So, like, I stopped doing that. Maybe it was around Halo Wars 2. Even though I did finish Halo Wars 2, I didn't like it like I like Halo Wars 1. I remember talking to you about that, and I was like, I am struggling to finish this game. Like, I actually dread playing it. I don't know what it's something about it I just didn't like. And I said this is the last time I'm doing that, so I don't do that anymore unless I'm doing a review. If I actually get a key from a developer and I tell them I'm going to do a review, I would do a review of that game, even if it's a game that completely offends me in every way. And you know what game I'm talking about that I review. Remember, you and Forte was telling me you need to go ahead and finish that and get that review out before they start sending you more emails about where the review's at. So
Bro,
like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
you don't remember? You had the word. Talking about my memory. I forgot you're
I
getting older
only
too.
remember things that are important. So
Oh wow. Well, that's. I guess that's how you feel. No, there was a game. The Suicide of Rachel Foster. That's the game I reviewed.
I don't remember any. I don't even recognize
You
that name,
remember
dude.
this? No, that now you're just old. You're just old.
I
That's
mean,
what it
I
is.
don't know what you're talking about. So
Well, there was a game I reviewed. It has a very repugnant aspect to the story that made me, and then the ending was absolute garbage. And I was just like, yo, I still did a review on it, but like,
so
if I'm
what
not doing a
happened with the
review,
story?
huh?
What was the gross part about it?
Relationships with old people and young people.
I don't remember. I don't remember this. Are you sure you talked to me about this?
Yes, I remember. Talk to you and Forte about this, and both of you were like, "You gotta finish the game and do your review because you told them you would do a review of this game."
How many years ago was this?
I don't know, man. Like 3?
Yeah, be for real. Okay. Anyway, so shout out to Bam Bam saying, "Cook me nicely, please." But yeah, so I saw Bam post this, and I was just kind of like, well, I mean, listen, what's wrong with people playing and beating games because they like the engagement and they like the follows that they get? What's wrong with that? There's like this concept of, I guess the concept of being a pure gamer. That concept is dead and in the water, baby. Do we not have people popping and um, super popular off of things like fucking Fortnite? I mean, a Fortnite's fun, but for me personally, it's not something that it's not something I really enjoy playing unless it's with people who I know are good and I know we're just gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But like me by myself, it's not something I would enjoy playing by myself. Minecraft, like the kiddos love it, but it's not something I'm all that interested in. I know there are adults who play Minecraft, of course, but still, like I just feel like at this point there are people who are just playing games for the engagement and the follows and the popularity aspect of it. And my thing is, as long as they beat the game, who cares? Like, if they just want to play a game so they can be part of a conversation, I think that's better than people who don't play the game but still hop in trying to be part of the conversation. And then when you ask them for their fucking credentials, they get mad at you and they're like, "Why do I have to prove I play games?" Like, you know what I'm saying? I think at least the people are playing games. Shout out to Sycamore with super chat saying, "Bruh, Slomo never forget. He always in the memory lane." Is he really? I think we have different thought processes on this guy. But
No, he right. My memory is on point. Thank you,
exactly.
Sycamore.
But yeah, I mean, like, so I don't know what Bam Bam was referring to. He can text me later if he doesn't want to say it like in the stream if he comes back and listen or whatever. But like, I don't really know why it's a problem for people to play a game because they want to be part of the conversation. Now, you guys may disagree with me, and I would like to hear your thought process on why.
Um, I'm more about just honesty. Like, just. I don't like when people are they they're not honest about why they're playing a game. Oh, if you're playing a game just because it's popular and everyone else is playing it, just be, on your truth about that. Like, I really wouldn't play this if a bunch of other people weren't giving it a shot. Everyone's into it. I'm gonna try it. Hey, it is what it is. But like, it's the people that irk me are the people that are like, this game sucks. They never played it. How you know it sucks? The people who do that for only for one side. Like, apparently it's okay to say Xbox games suck that you won't play, but don't do that for a PlayStation game. Oh, how dare you? I want to see your trophies. Well, where's your achievements, bruh? Because you keep doing the same thing for the other side. Like, don't be a hypocrite. So for me, it's just more about like honesty. Like if you have played a game, I don't care how long you played it. If you played a game and you genuinely didn't like it, I respect it. So be it. At least you tried it. It's the people and if like the back to what Bam was saying, yeah, there are people in this community that just play stuff because the people in their community play it. Oh, so like I'm supposed to be a pony, so I guess I gotta play every PlayStation first party game that comes out. I mean, that's who. If you a follower like that, own it. That's who you are.
And again, I think that's much better than like capping for these games and not playing them, because there are a lot of people who are more
Yes.
on that mindset where it's just like these games are so amazing. I'm like, okay, did you play them? Oh, no, you didn't play them. Okay, cool. When I first joined the community, I thought I had to play every major release because I was on these podcasts. And then I found out that these dudes on the podcast don't play fucking games. So, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
say less. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, I'm good then. Like, that's the reason why. That is the only reason I bought Horizon Zero Dawn day one. And as I was playing that snooze fest, in my opinion, I was just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to beat this. And I turned that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to anyone who loves the game. No disrespect intended to them. But yeah. So, I just thought it was an interesting like perspective on Bam Bam's part. I have no idea. Oh, and then Bari was like, they're meta bandwagoners. It makes me sick. Can say a game is bad, but can never go into detail why. Never showcase any gameplay illustrating what the fuck they're talking about. Fuck them. Yeah, I think those are like two separate points, actually.
That also kind of goes both ways because clearly Elden Ring is the most popular from software game out because
Yes.
it reviews so well that people, even the casual gamer, was like, what's this game everyone's saying it's so amazing, it's got all these great reviews, I'm gonna try it. Oh, I got my head smacked, I'm never playing it again. But they tried it. That also goes, this is the reason why Sony is so big on making sure that like their games score well on Metacritic.
Mhm.
The narrative director, damn, what was his name? Something Garner. No, I can't remember his name, but the narrative director for Days Gone said that when he did an interview with David Jaffe, and when he was asked like why is Days Gone not getting a sequel, it wasn't because it didn't sell well. It didn't review well. He said that he was like, if your game doesn't review well, like good freaking luck. Like it's going to be really hard to get a sequel. Not impossible, but it's going to be really hard to get a sequel. And Days Gone, I mean, a lot of the other people who don't work at Sony Bend anymore have been on social media talking about what they think the sales are. I think unofficially we've heard like 8-9 million. That's for a new IP.
It's pretty good.
That's amazing, right? But like, you're not getting the sequel. So and I don't know, and there's been like talk whether that was Sony who chose not to do a sequel or Sony Bend leadership themselves said no sequel. Regardless, of the fact is like what he said, what he as someone who used to work under Sony said when it comes to Metacritic is really, really important to them, and that they know it's really, really important to them because they know it's really, really important to the gamer.
I mean, like I said, honestly speaking, that Elden Ring situation sold it to me in the sense that here, listen, I am a From Software whore. Okay,
You are
yes, I beat Dark
big whore.
Souls. I beat
Some
Dark
From Software
Souls
whore, man.
2.
Yeah.
I beat Dark Souls 3 like 4 times. I beat Dark Souls 3 4 times. I beat Sekiro 4 times, which fucking phenomenal. I beat Bloodborne. I can't.
We know your credentials were From Software, Luca. I mean, your name
for anyone
says
who's
it all.
who's listening, I got the platinum in Bloodborne, and then I got the platinum in Elden Ring, and then I got the platinum in Demon Souls Remake. So I played like I was gonna get Elden Ring regardless, right? But my friends, who I've been friends with for years now, and they know how I feel about From Software games, and they tried to play Dark Souls with me, and they tried to play Dark Souls 3 with me, and then they quit after 5 seconds in the first area because they're like, nope, My buddies who were like, I'm not playing any From Software titles, you know, as soon as that 97 came out, the, I'm picking up Elden Ring, Luca. Luca, I'm gonna get Elden Ring as well. Yeah, me too, Luca. I was like, huh?
Who are you talking about? You ain't talking about me, right?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Have you ever bashed From Software games?
I did say the combat was janky.
Did I play Dark Souls 1 with you?
No.
Did I
I'm
play
just
Dark
making
Souls
sure
3
because
with
I
you?
didn't know whether you was talking about one person in particular or a group of people. You kept saying plural friends, and I'm just sitting here just like I feel
Did
like
I play Dark
subtle
Souls 1
shade
or 3 with
being
you?
thrown
Did
in
I
my
play
direction.
Dark Souls
I
1
just
or 3
wanted to
with
make
you?
sure that you
Okay.
weren't coming for me. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, I didn't play Dark Souls 1 or 3 with you, and I specifically said that, but whatever.
You
no.
said friends, so
Okay.
I took it as that was one person.
Did you buy
and then
Elden
there are
Ring
other
based off the
people.
Metacritic score, Slow-Mo?
No, I did not.
Okay, so what you
I'm just making sure that you're not talking about me. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Dark Souls 3 didn't get really good for me, Garcia, until I got to Irithyll of the Boreal Valley, and that's when I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay. And that's when I also stopped feeling depressed every time I lost my souls. You know, I lost 60,000 souls to those goddamn fucking archers. And you know, I reached that point that all FromSoft fans reach where they're just like, "You know what? Fuck the souls. I just have to go for it. I just got to get to this next area." So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, what I'm saying is, Metacritic fucking matters, and whoever says it doesn't, you're lying. You are lying. Maybe it doesn't matter to you, but to the gaming community, it fucking matters. Okay, so if a game doesn't review well, again, play what you want to play, do what you want to do, whatever, right? Like at the end of the day, no one can tell you as a gamer if you're gonna like a game or not unless you especially if you know yourself as a gamer. Like if you know
Right.
yourself as a gamer and you feel like you would enjoy a title, regardless of what the reviews say, pick it up and enjoy it. Take for instance again, Dragon Age 2. I just looked it up. The Metacritic score for users is a 4.7.
Damn.
That's so bad.
That's
That's
bad.
so bad. And rightfully so. Like, I mean,
I
listen.
guarantee you the majority of that is Dragon Age fans of Dragon Age Origins. Cause like they went in a completely like 180 direction on the combat. They went from traditional old school Western RPG queue system combat to straight up action in the second game, and people was just like, "The hell is this? This ain't
Exactly. Plus,
ain't
it went
Dragon
from
Age
having
stuff."
these such a wide variety of backstories and so intricate, and then it just went to Hawk. Like, don't get me wrong, I listen,
Yeah.
Hawk is my favorite. I love Hawk, but as someone who I didn't and I wait, did I? Yeah, actually I did. I went from Dragon Age Inquisition to Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age 2. And despite like all of the the choices, I still prefer a Dragon Age 2. Now, here's the thing: if I were to sit down and like, ooh, I guess it's not really objective. I guess it's just like a consensus. Like most people seem to agree with this. In my opinion, I feel like Dragon Age Origins has the strongest story and the strongest backstories for their characters, and the most interesting way everything ties together because these characters actually exist in the world. So if you don't choose to play as one character, those other characters die. Like they still exist in the world, but they die. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dragon Age Origins is the strongest entry. And then after that,
That's why it's my favorite. Go
I
ahead. Go ahead.
think that Dragon Age Inquisition is after that. I think the story for Dragon Age, first of all, Corypheus, okay, not a very great villain. Okay, I will acknowledge that, but I
He's
liked
very bland, not bland, but
he's fucking bland.
there's nothing original about him. He's very
But
unoriginal.
the
Yeah.
concept of him being one of the Tevinter mages that tried to tried to meet the maker or
Yeah.
try and
Or
then
they
like
tried to conquer the Golden City is what they
tried to
wanted to
conquer
do.
the Golden City and then ended up being cursed and turned into a fucking disgusting demonic aura and like that the concept of that is very cool, and the fact that it's tied directly to Dragon Age 2 DLC, very cool. But Corypheus is not a good villain. I think what gives Dragon Age Inquisition the weight is the fact that, I mean, the twist at the end. I think that gives it the weight. I do like the characters that you choose for your party, and I do like the story. And ultimately, it's a better game in regards to exploration, especially, and yeah, exploration especially, right? And
Mhm.
customization. Where Dragon Age 2 does it for me, even okay, so Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age Origins are very wide open stories. They're very this is a grand adventure and you are the hero kind of stories, right? While Dragon Age 2 is a more personal story and you're just someone who's trying to survive, and everyone who's in your party is your friend. There are
It would
people that you've
it would
met
have
throughout
been
your
better
journey.
off if Origins, I mean, sorry, if Dragon Age 2 was more like a side game. You know, like kind of like how there's like Halo ODST where it's not the Master Chief isn't in it. You're playing like the random soldiers. That it's not a story that's a part of the main character arc of the Master Chief. Where like I think like Dragon Age 2, it being such a personal story about one character in his life, his or her life, versus how Origins you got to choose your race. You could be whatever and had all these different origins. And Inquisition, you could again choose your race and really kind of like the story arc can go a lot of different ways, and it was up to you to kind of take it there. Like those were more what I would say more traditional of what Dragon Age is. Even with Awakenings is more like that than Dragon Age 2. And so I think like if they would have just said, hey, look, this isn't, if they didn't call it Dragon Age 2, they call it Dragon Age: The Story of Hawk. I
Yeah,
think a
and
lot
they
of people
also had a
probably would have
different
been,
they had a different name for it as well before it came out. Exodus, I think, Dragon Age Exodus, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So it was never
They
supposed to be
probably should
Dragon
have.
Age 2.
They probably should have just kept that instead of calling it Dragon Age 2. But
Exactly. All right, and then also Mass Effect 3. Now, mind you, I played Mass Effect 3 after they fixed it, well, quote unquote, quick fixed the ending. But ultimately, Mass Effect 3 is a fantastic game. Like that story throughout the game is fantastic. It's just the ending where it's just like, ooh. All right, but shout out to Stone saying, I'm gonna go back and watch you cook, Bam, as you should, Queen. She also
shout out to
says,
Stone.
Luca, I love you and I hope you're feeling better from your fall. I love you too. Girl, I'm not doing too
Yeah, you
well
fell
after
down,
that
right?
fall. Yeah, I fell down the
How
stairs.
how many stairs did you fall down?
Um, let's see here. I think my house has 4 levels. So it was quite a few. And I
I'm
think
sorry.
I actually think I really hurt myself,
Oh
because
no.
I, like, twinged something like, my back and, like, my side of my arm are a little messed up when I tried to lift some things and when I moved a certain way, so
So like, how did you fall? Like, was it
I
like,
just missed a step.
oh, it was one of those you missed a step, you just fall backwards, and you just start kind of just like hit every stair on the way down, kind of
Yeah,
deals. Yeah, yeah, I did one of them before. Yeah, it is what it is.
yeah.
You'll be all right. You know, tomorrow you'll be a little sore. By Monday, you'll be right as rain. You'll be all right.
I know, I'm sure I'll be fine. But, exactly, Stone, exactly. But, I'm just happy I didn't hit my head, so alright, but yeah, all I'm saying is, like, play games for yourself if you feel like you're gonna enjoy the game. The only time that reviews ultimately should matter is if the game is fucking broken because of bugs, you know what I'm saying? Or having performance issues like that Wulong, what is that game called?
Fallen Dynasty.
Fallen Dynasty, not even being, like, actually made for PC, they just threw that shit on
What,
they
what
just
is
threw
this?
that shit on there, and, we're like, "Y'all just be happy you got something, okay?"
It's
Um,
yeah, you gotta turn off like graphical settings because they were implemented so poorly that in the background it's just flickering, and it's just like, what the heck is this flickering going on? I'm about to have an epileptic seizure or something, and then I had to go look it up. It was like turn this off immediately. I'm like, what the hell? Just and the freezes, like a game where you need to be precise in your parries and being ready to parry things, and you're fighting the boss and it just decides to just freeze on you right when they're about to do their unblockable move. But appreciate it. Thank you, game, for always screwing me over. So I mean, sadly, I've resorted to playing it on my Xbox Series S instead of PC.
Ew. Oh, I'm sorry. That L just slipped out. My bad.
Oh no, it deserves
It
the
just
ill
slipped
because
out.
it's
My bad.
ugly.
I mean, the
It
Series
looks
S is a
ugly in
great
the
con Let me
Series
tell you
S.
about it, though.
It looks
I
ugly on everything,
listen.
honestly.
So
The game looks like it should be on a 360. But go ahead, my bad.
I only need one reason to buy things, right? One valid reason to spend my money. I bought a Series S so I could have a console to play when I'm at my mom's house. My Series S is at my mother's house, right? Because my first time visiting her, I brought my goddamn Series X, and fucking security at the airport were like, "What is this?" It was right after the console launch too,
I thought
so
it was a bomb.
they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was just like, "It's a gaming console." And they had to get like one of the other younger
They were gonna
em
take you to juvie.
employees. They were just like, "No, no, no, that is a gaming console." So,
You
but it
know,
was
not that prison because they thought you were young. But go ahead. My bad.
yes. So, but it was so heavy, and I'm very weak. So I was like, "Let me buy a Series S to keep it in my mother's house." When I tell you, I played my Series S. I was playing Destiny on my Series S, and like mentally comparing it to the Series X. I was like, "Oh, this is." I mean, at least I can play the game, you know? And then I booted up Saints Row 2, and I'm just like, Saints Row, it doesn't matter because Saints Row 2 is Saints Row 2, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but like, yeah, anyway, moving on from that. But
I
yeah, so
tried to play Halo Guardians on my Series S, and I was just like, "Is this the same game?" Like, it just didn't feel right. Something didn't
it just
feel
didn't feel right.
right. Like I was playing it, and I was just like,
Like, mm.
this don't even feel like Halo. What is? I mean, like it's a 343 Halo, so it usually don't feel like Halo, but it felt even less like Halo. And I was just like, yeah, I ain't playing this like this no more. So like, I don't know. Like I use my Series S to play like only games that like I already owned, but I got other friends that say, hey, let's play the Division 1 Dark Zone or Survival, and I'm like, I know they don't have it on PC. I'm like, all right, well, I'll crank up the Series S and we'll play it on that. But otherwise, it just kind of collects dust. But
Yeah, I mean, listen, shout out to the Series S. I don't know anything about that architecture, and I'm not going to get into it. So we're just going to move on. We're just going to move on, okay? Selma, do you have anything to say about this Starfield launch date?
well, let's see here. The launch date, I mean, no problem really. Like if it's not ready, delay it. And you know how Bethesda is, so it definitely probably needed that delay. That said, they need to never ever do this whole the games we're showing this today are only coming out within the next 12 months. Like, cut the crap, bro. Out of all the games they showed, the majority of the publisher who didn't live up to that expectation is their own damn self. Make it make sense. You the one that showed like 3 games, maybe 4, but I think 3 games in particular, and only one of them is going to make the 12 months, and just barely. I mean, like freaking Redfall's coming out a month before the 12-month deadline. We know Starfield isn't, and we know Forza Motorsport won't. So it's just like, just don't do that no more. Just show us what you got coming. People, and there were so many Xbox fans. I know they don't want to admit it, but I know all y'all were talking before E3 like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see Fable. I can't wait to see Avowed. Oh man, Hellblade 2. Oh man, blah 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 blah. And you didn't see any of that. You saw none of it.
I mean, what's wrong with being excited for seeing those games? Selma? What's the
Exactly.
possibility?
No. That's my point. My point is that like before the show, they were excited to see that stuff. Got all their hopes deflated when Sarah Bond trotted on out there in her high heels and her jeans
She was
and
very
said
beautiful
she
looking,
she she
as the
she
kid,
was
as
she
Uni
was
likes to say.
yeah, I'm not saying otherwise, but she walked on out there in her high heels and said, we only showing 12 months of games. Sorry. And then afterwards everybody was like, well, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes
I mean,
perfect sense to
to be
me. And I'm
fair,
like,
people were complaining that Xbox was showing games too far out, And then there were people who were saying only show the games that are gonna release soon, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's why they switched it up.
there's a balancing act that has like don't go the Everwild route where you're showing me a game and even the developers don't know what it is. Like that's don't show me that. Don't show Contraband where it's a 15-second teaser trailer of some dude's garage. And I'm just like, what is this game? I don't even know what this is, right? Don't show that. But then actually show a game if it's 2 years out, but you can actually show me a decent, interesting trailer with some snippets of gameplay here and there. Cool. That's what I want to see. It don't have to be 12 months out. Like show me something that I can look forward to 2 years from now to actually say, you know, I actually bought this and it was worth it. Because if you got nothing for the next 12 months, then what the freak are you? What are we doing here?
No, I hear what you're saying, man. I definitely hear what you're saying. But I'm just, you know, giving those examples because, like, everything that Xbox does now is because of something they've done in the past that people complained about.
Yeah,
So, like,
and
when
all I'm saying is
Enrique
it seems
talked
like they
about,
go in the opposite. They go too far in the opposite direction. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, like when Enrique talked about Xbox influencers having the ability to, like, I don't know what the word is, like, influence, I guess, influence,
Yeah.
uh,
Influencers influencing.
influence. He wasn't lying about that or exaggerating about that. I just didn't understand why he included it in the context of a delay. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with the game being delayed.
No, if it needs to be delayed, delay the game. Like I'm always, and I agree with you on that. I'm always on the side of I would rather the game get delayed and it's more polished or whatever game breaking, enjoyment breaking issues are ironed out and fixed before it launches than the opposite, which is like State of Decay 2, where you know you're co-oping with people and you go into their world and you're like halfway in a wall in the ground. Your zombies is eating your hair and you can't even fight back because you're stuck in the ground, kind of crap like that. Like nobody wants to play a game like that. Like you want it when it's ready. And so yeah, delay the game, man.
Exactly. Singer, are you still here?
I was about to ask that.
Okay.
I've been waiting.
Go
I didn't know
ahead.
this man fell asleep
Yes.
in that.
Go ahead, my boy.
All right. So, I'm going to have to ask you to share my screen real quick
Okay.
because I need to set the stage.
Oh,
Okay.
man, this man got slides for us.
No, not at all.
I'm waiting for you to hit the.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Exactly, as you should.
So, I've been seeing this thing going around on Twitter, blaming the gamers for Forspoken's flop. Now, the issue is you have a dogshit engine with a dogshit developer. Back in 2018, they released something called Final Fantasy 15 on a dogshit engine with the same dogshit developer.
I mean, it was a mix of devs.
And they couldn't figure out how to get the PC port right. 5 years later, they still can't figure out how to get PC done. And in another 5 years, I bet you they still won't be able to figure out how the fuck do you optimize for a PC. Okay, so cool. So that's one thing. But the people blaming the gamers, we are the consumers. It is down to Luminous, Square Enix, and PlayStation, because they got the marketing, to sell us on the game. You did not sell us on the game. It is not our fault. It's your fault for having a lackluster dogshit trailer with a dogshit engine, with a terror. Even on PlayStation 5, it performs garbage. Then you do all this marketing as this big game, and then you're like, oh, the sales were lackluster. Yeah, that's because you're all a bunch of delusional assholes who sit there with your head up your ass thinking everything's going to be Final Fantasy.
Whoa!
Wow.
So,
you really don't like Square Enix.
Square Enix needs to just shutter and die or something because
Wow.
if it wasn't for Final Fantasy, they would be dead. They would be long gone, right? That is their crutch. They are garbage at putting out anything else. The 2.5 HD games, cool. Your little indie games, cool. Octopath Traveler, cool. When it comes to a AAA game, you cannot do it because you're a dog shit publisher. You're a third-rate publisher with a fourth-rate portfolio in gaming. And Square Enix just needs to either shut themselves, learn how to actually make a game outside of Final Fantasy good, or they need to sell themselves real quick. And then people are saying, oh, Square Enix games keep missing Xbox. Good, we don't want that mid shit over here. There's enough mid shit over here. It's so cool. They can keep that shit because we, you know, it's fine. You can skip because all these other Japanese publishers, Capcom, Atlas, Sega, all these other people don't seem to have this issue. Their games hit, but Square Enix, when they go, oh, look at our new game Forspoken. Oh, look at this. This is going to be a fucking dumpster fire. Guess what? It was a dumpster fire. And then Final Fantasy 16 will come out and save the day. Final Fantasy 14, save the day. Final Fantasy 17, save the day. The next Dragon Quest, save the day. Because I know for a fact your other games aren't going to do shit. So take your dog shit developer and ass and go sell yourselves to Sony or something. Because you're a garbage ass studio. Garbage ass publisher. I'm glad Luminous is gone. Because they need to be gone. Because clearly the garbage engine needs to be shelved. You need to throw the engine in the trash and use whatever engine 16's using. Alright? Cool. So stop blaming the gamers. Blame these publishers that you love to champion. It's on them to sell the game. The gamers with nothing to do with this. It's their job to sell it to us. They didn't, so fuck them. Cool.
Wow.
I mean, you were just waiting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was holding that in. That was
He's like, fuck Square Enix. I mean, he's been very consistent with that Square Enix annoyance or hate for years now. So
now, not to defend them because they kind of deserve the heat. But I would say they deserve the heat in one particular way. They dropped a lot of games over the past quarter-ish, right? Some of them are really good. And they got like zero publicity, zero marketing for them. So it's just like, don't complain and to your investors that, oh, hey, all these games that we dropped didn't meet expectations, and you pretty much told us what your expectations were of those games because you didn't market them.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's some oddballs over there.
Well, 1 second. There's something else as well. This fucking dimwit, this dumbass in charge of Square Enix was like, don't worry, people, the game flopped, but in the midterm, we got NFTs and blockchain games. And I'm like, you know what? Just throw your entire developer, throw the publisher off a cliff, in the trash. Fuck it, sell. I beg you, sell to Sony, because you need saving from yourselves. The only good thing over there is Yoshi. Yoshi P, that's it. Shout out to the 14 team.
When he's not talking, that is. When he's making games.
When he's not talking.
Things that,
but like, this guy is the savior of Square Enix. And you just need to take the company, throw it in the trash, get Yoshi his own studio, take his team, put them in their own thing, get Sony to purchase them, and then we'll actually have good Square Enix games. So get your NFT blockchain shit out of here, and see you later. Ta-ra, goodbye. Don't release your games on Xbox because they're going to be fucking mid. There we go.
Oh, okay. You know, okay. Well, thank you for sharing your perspective on the Square Enix matter and Forspoken. I appreciate hearing your viewpoint, Singer.
I was holding that in. Forspoken was the final straw.
Okay.
Any thoughts on the Starfield topic that we were currently on before you went back in time and destroyed Square Enix?
He already commented on it.
Yeah.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the rant?
Earlier.
You came on.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, I was here when the show started.
Oh yeah, I was delayed. My bad. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I don't think anything else happened this week. Let me just okay, real quick. So I'm about to try and convince y'all to go
Oh
see
yeah, but
Scream
one more
6.
thing happened. Uh, Suicide Squad got delayed.
Oh.
To
Suicide
next
Squad got
year.
delayed
To next
till
year.
next year?
Yeah.
Oh, that game was
They
gonna come out
it's
super
officially
hot.
delayed, but like I think Jeff Grubb and Bo Jason Schreier have heard from people behind the scenes. They said to later this year. Excuse me, but Jeff Grubb and Jason Schreier heard behind the scenes it might end up being to 2024, but they haven't. But they don't want to come out officially and say that yet.
Wow. Okay. That game would have come out super hot. Good for them for delaying it. I'm glad when people watched that trailer, they were like, "Nope, not for me." I know that you liked it, Slow-Mo, right?
Yeah, I
But
like the combat.
but they were it was very mixed and heavily skewed towards people not liking that trailer from whatever was that a state of play?
That was a state of play. The
Yeah,
last
I
state of play.
don't watch that shit unless it's about specific games. But all right, okay, well, um, okay. Do you have any thoughts on?
Oh, I actually think they shouldn't have delayed it unless it was like buggy. Because but the word is that they're delaying it based off of the reception it got as far as what people thought of the game itself. And I'm just like, when the first official word was delayed to later this year, I'm like, that's not enough time to change the game. Because the all the feedback that I heard from people was, I don't like this at all. I don't like the live service stuff. I don't like the battle pass. I don't like the way the combat looks. I want it to play like Arkham. I don't like anything about this. I don't like seeing Harley Quinn bouncing around, swinging around. I don't like seeing Captain Boomerang having more agility than Spider-Man. Like, no one, like, I don't see them fixing any of that in like less than a year, or changing any of that in less than a year. That makes no sense. Like, these are game design choices that they made on a game that took them like what, how many years to develop? What exactly are you going to change?
Well, I
If you're
mean, if
not really
they
going to change it,
it,
what I'm saying is, if it's going to be like this, almost kind of like Gotham Knights, where they ripped out some of the live service stuff, but then you can still see the remnants of live service in it. It's like, if that's going to be your end result, you're still not going to satisfy the people who complained. So what's the purpose of delaying? Just release the game as is.
I mean, so far we're just hearing rumors as to why they're delaying it, right?
I think the only thing that's a rumor is it might be delayed to next year. I think it's pretty official it's being delayed though.
No, I know, but you're like
Yeah.
giving the reason as to why they're doing delaying it. I'm saying
That was a part of the official reason why they're delaying it.
that they're changing it.
Well, due to the reception of the state of play, which, and maybe that is my commentary on that aspect of it. Like, the reception is they don't like any of it. Like, no one likes any of this game.
Hmm.
So what are you going to change? Like, are you going to take away the purple pimple blisters off the enemies? I mean, like, that's a start, but like, what else are you really changing that's going to make people go, okay, I like it now? Like,
I guess we'll have to wait and see, my boy.
that's true. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so okay, I'm going to try and sell you guys on Scream 6. So I am 30. Okay, I've only seen Scream 1, 5, and 6. Right.
What?
So that's
Really?
mhm. I don't
I
care.
did not know that.
I don't care for the slasher genre. I don't. Oh, I'm about to make people
Oh
so upset right now. Or
man.
horror genre in that regard. I don't care about Friday the 13th. I don't care about Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't care about my cousin in Child's Play. Okay. I don't care. I didn't care about Scream. All right. I didn't care about any of these films. Right. My obsession with Jenna Ortega has, it's evolved. Right. So I decided to go back and watch Scream 5 because I was like, I might as well go see Scream 6 in order to support the baby girl. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
watched Scream 5. It was very funny. It was very, very funny, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I thought it was very campy, very goofy. Couldn't take it seriously, right? And then I saw
So
Scream
wait,
6.
before you saw Scream 1 yesterday, you had never seen it before?
No, I've seen Scream 1 before.
Oh, okay. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, so Scream 6 is listen, Scream 6 is fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
That movie is so good. It listen, when it comes to character development, it is so much better than Scream 5, which all Scream 5 had Jenna Ortega's character doing is crying and screaming and bleeding to death, right? That's all she
Yeah,
was
pretty
doing. But
much.
she actually has like a personality. The main character, which is Sam, who's played by Melissa Barrera, I believe, she received a lot of critique from people because they viewed Sam as a very bland, one note character, right?
That's how just real quick. I can't stand when people criticize the actress for a writing issue. What is she supposed to do? She is
Exactly.
delivering. Look, she can't write her own lines. If she's one note and she's very she's a like she's not a very complex character. There's nothing that the actress can do about that. That's an issue with the writer and the director.
Exactly, and, like, sh and she did come out and she was like, "I don't have an issue with people not liking the character or me. I'm perfectly fine with that, you know, it's okay. I like" she said she likes, the differing opinions, right?
Mhm.
But everyone who I've seen so far who was bashing her character, they were like, "No, give her a fucking franchise. Give her a trilogy because she ate down." That's what the kids like to say. That's the slang the kids like to say. She was absolutely fucking phenomenal in regards to she. Listen, what kind of characters are my favorite? Unhinged ones. She's unhinged. Okay, that character is extremely unhinged. So I'm just like, yes, baby boom. This is what I like to see. And then also, Ghostface was also brutal, very very brutal. And the opening for the movie was it subverted expectations in a good way, and it was very very violent, and I really really enjoyed it. And like the entirety of the film, actually I enjoyed every single story beat. Now the third act has some issues in my opinion, and I'm sure people have seen that throughout. There's like people have been mentioning that on the internet, but ultimately at the end of the day, Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, they fucking carried, and Sam and Tara as characters are fantastic, and the ghost face was genuinely scary, and the New York setting worked for the film. So, if you're a fan of the Scream franchise and maybe you didn't like Scream 5, Scream 6 is significantly better than Scream 5. Um, like overall, in my opinion, right? And if you are a Scream fan and you just haven't had the chance to go see Scream 6, go see Scream 6. It is very, very good. Even BG, the biggest hater in the world, just came out saying he liked Scream 6. And I was just like,
Oh
exactly.
man.
Got another one. I hit him up on Thursday, after I saw the film, and I was just like, "What's up, baby boy? You gonna go see Scream?" And he's like, "Yep." Went to go see Scream. He gave it a 10 out of 10. The movie's
Wow.
amazing. It's absolutely fucking amazing, and I love it so much. And I'm going to see it again tomorrow because it is a film that is extremely rewatchable. You know what I'm saying? So I listen. I'm
I
just
used to
saying.
always like watching the slasher who done it kind of movies multiple times, especially the second time, because once you know who actually is or is it whether it's one or it's multiple of them doing it, you see the clues all throughout the movie that lead you to, that was telling you really who it was, and you see it like very clearly if you didn't see it. A lot of times I figure it out before the big reveal, but uh you see all of that ahead of time, which is pretty cool. So Luca, you haven't seen Scream 2, 3, or 4?
I'm actually watching Scream 2. I was doing that right before podcast. Scream 2 is very good so far. I'm really enjoying it. So
Yeah, the cool thing about Scream is that how they know it's like, so the first one was really kind of like riffing on the horror genre itself, right? And then the second one is riffing on sequels of horror genres. Like it's always like, hey, look, you gotta look out for this. Hey, in sequels, they always kill more people. If you survive the first one, good luck in the second one, that kind of deal, because like you're probably gonna die, which is a lot of these tropes come from 80s horror movies, and it's cool because the reason why they work in Scream is because the villains believe it. The actual killers are the ones that are like they're following these rules that have to do these things specific ways, which I think a benefit to Scream 5 is that it actually decided to subvert its own self. So it's like it's subverting the whole Scream genre itself. So, like in the beginning with Jenna Ortega, typically when a Scream movie starts, the very first girl you see, she's dead. She's a goner. She's going to get killed. She's the first one to go. Like what's the actress that was in the very first one that
Drew
was super fun?
Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. So like the way they did that, they for those who are too young to remember, when Scream first came out, Drew Barrymore was all over all the posters. She was all over all the promotion. Everyone went into the movie thinking she was going to be the survivor girl, the main girl that stops the killer in the end. She's going to be the one that make it to the end. And then only for her to die like in 5 minutes. People was like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on, right? And so like that was their way of subverting expectations from the very start. And they have done that every single time. Like every time there's a couple in the beginning, I think in Scream 2, it's Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to rewatch Jada Pinkett getting killed. But no, it was, but like they always do that in the beginning. And so with Jenna Ortega, it was like you see her and you're like, well, that's of course she is the a hot actress right now as far as her old ways. She's in everything.
Jenna,
Everyone loves her.
I don't think Jenna was super popular when that movie filmed.
She did. Wait, she was already in You, but she was in something else. I can't remember what else.
Let me look her up her filmography.
Yeah, and Garcia's right. Yeah, that was Drew Barrymore's comeback. So everybody was like, "Oh, Drew Barrymore's back," and she died in 5 minutes.
Yeah, back to the grave. You know what
right?
I'm saying?
And they always started that way, where it's like the person in who you first see in the beginning dies, and then Jenna Ortega survived the first.
I mean, I don't know how she survived. Like,
I mean, it makes no sense. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
She's like 100 pounds soaking wet. She got stabbed like 20 times. Like,
exactly.
how are you alive?
How is
like,
she alive for real?
Yeah.
Like I'm reading her filmography. So she wasn't in anything. And was the Fallout something that was popular?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yes Day.
No, that is either.
The Babysitter Killer Queen.
Oh, I definitely didn't watch that crap.
All right, let's look at TV shows. She was in Home Movie, The Princess Bride. She was in You. She was in Big City. Yeah, no, she wasn't a big actor when Scream came out. The Scream 5, that is. So, but yeah, so somehow she was able to survive getting stabbed 3,000 times, right? Somehow.
Right.
But like,
no sense.
Ultimately, Scream 6 is just a fantastic movie. I'm going to go see it again tomorrow. It's very, very rewatchable. I'm waiting for Slow-Mo to see it whenever he gets the chance. And
I'll probably check it out Monday.
Listen, I'm about to have a spoiler cast for this once I get all my boys to watch it. So, yes,
Wednesday, I want to know your thoughts about the other Scream movies, too, as you get through them. Because I remember doing this before I watched Scream 5. I watched 1 through 4. Before I watched 5.
Yeah, Scream, the first Scream's good. I like Sidney Prescott as a character. I don't think it made any sense for her to sleep with Billy because she was still having doubts about whether or not he was the killer, like significant doubts. But I think they did that.
I mean, I'm a killer face. I mean, he's like, come on, Sid. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm like, what the freak? This creepy freak about what are you doing? Like this guy.
Yeah, I thought it made less sense for her as a character and more sense for what they were trying to do in regards to subverting expectations. So they made it so she wasn't a virgin, but she was able to survive, which is something that was mentioned in the first film, in which the virgin always survives. But they made it so the girl who's not a virgin survives. So I think that's why they did it.
And for her boyfriend and Stewie, that's why it was like, I mean, outside of
Billy?
him just Billy, yeah, outside him just being horny, like that was the other aspect to it. You know, she can't be a virgin when we kill her, that kind of deal, because it's like again that they're following the tropes of the whole movie genre stuff.
Yeah, so, but I thought it was good. I wasn't, like, super invested in it, to be honest. I do think that Stu and Billy as killers were very, very brutal, especially in comparison to what I've seen so far with Scream 2. Mind you, I've only seen about a couple of killings. I do think the kills are more creative in Scream 2 in comparison to Scream 1. Um, in some regards, I do think, like, them hanging bodies off of, like, the trees and, something else, something involving fucking football, I don't know what that thing's called, but, I think and then, like, gutting them so their entrails are out, that's creative in a way, but I think it's more creative in 2 with, the knife going through the bathroom door because dude was fucking horny and, nosy, and then also him killing Jada Pinkett Smith's character at the s reveal of the movie,
I
that
thought that was pretty.
I
It's
thought that was
pretty
pretty
funny.
clever,
Yeah, because
too.
like she's crying out for help, and literally everyone thinks it's a bit, or it's like look, everyone's here wearing
Ghostface, yeah.
the ghost face mask, so like of course the actual killer stabbing you up among everyone else is that was pretty interesting. I liked it.
Yeah. I did enjoy that quite a bit. So I think so far Scream 2, personally, I think Scream 2 is better than Scream. Um, and I feel like a lot of Scream, like a lot of the reason why people enjoy the first Scream the most, seemingly, is because it set up the entire franchise as a whole, and it apparently was doing things that other films at the time were not doing. So, it's genre defining in that regard. So I feel like that's why most people like the first Scream over all the other Screams. But me personally, so far from what I've seen of Scream 2, I'm enjoying Scream 2 more. Okay, so we can move on from that, do the channel member topics and get out of here so I can like fucking take some goddamn Advil. Um Scary movie. I've seen the majority of the scary movies and they're fun. They're very, very fun. So okay, so shout out to Brandon saying, I just want to say how I love how aggressive Xbox is in 2023. Go see Scream 6 though. Okay. And then tag me on Twitter. Okay. Game Pass is killing it this year with the third-party additions. I can't wait to see MLB The Show at the end of the month. They are wheeling and dealing with the ABK stuff, making deals with Nvidia and Nintendo. They had the developer direct and Shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush in January. I love that they announced the Starfield release date, Starfield Direct, and the Xbox Game Showcase early so we don't have to wait. I love the new gameplay they showed for Starfield. The character running reminded me of Mass Effect Andromeda, which I felt was the best part of the game. Do you in the panel have any idea what you will name your ship in Starfield? I'm going to name my ship Destiny. I will name it the Normandy or the Dreadfort. I was disappointed with Xbox for their lack of games in 2022. However, this year we have Hi-Fi Rush, Minecraft Legends, Ghostwire Tokyo, which is an Xbox port, and Redfall before June. After June, I think we will get the new console port of Age of Empires 4 in August, Starfield in September, Forza Motorsport in October, Hellblade 2 in November, Stalker 2 in December. Have a great week. Thank you, Brandon. What are you guys going to name your ships?
Oh, what was the ship from Aliens? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, you are asking the wrong person. Slomo probably
From
knows, but he's
Aliens?
distracted. So.
From Alien, yeah, Ripley, the ship she was on.
Oh man, I
Sirocco.
literally just watched
Sirocco,
Alien.
isn't it?
I don't remember. I
Somebody
watched
in his
Alien
ship?
like a month ago, man, and I don't remember.
Someone in the chat should know. Because I have no idea.
Oh, you know what? You should name it Serenity after that TV show. But
I was thinking of that. Is
the Nostromo. That's it.
Nostromo?
Yeah,
Nostromo. Yeah,
that's how I would say it. Yeah,
yep,
the Nostromo.
that's the one. Yep, that's what I'm gonna name my ship.
I'm not naming my ship anything because I'm probably not gonna play Starfield.
Makes sense.
I'm not looking forward to it. So
all right. So shout out to Corey saying, "What's your backlog body count?" Yeah, too many games. too many games to name, my boy. It's
Right.
very, very large pause, so I wouldn't be able to give a specific number. Um,
I could talk about the number of games I have that I'm trying to play through on PC alone right now. It'll be
no, you don't have to do that.
Wait, what was the question?
It's on the screen, my boy.
Let me see.
25 games.
Okay. Yeah, it's at least 10 for me. 'Cause there are games that I 100% do actually want to play. I just don't have the time right now. So they
I
Corey asked, "What's your backlog body count?"
I see it now. Ooh, I got 10.
Okay, nice. And what is your outlook on human behavior post COVID? I think that people, because we were forced into isolation, people's social skills have deteriorated quite a bit.
Hmm.
And I think that there are some people who they do prefer the remote work, and they don't there are some people who realize that their social skills have deteriorated, and then there are others who don't. So me personally, when it comes to the human behavior, people are more inclined to want to just stay at home and do their job basically, which I can completely understand, especially if you're a family person, like if you have kids, and or if your commute is very long. It makes perfect sense to me. Me personally, I have none of those things, so I like went a little stir crazy being trapped in the house, and then my job was fully remote. And I was like, to keep myself entertained, I was on fucking social media, which is the worst thing in the world. I think the impact of human behavior, I am a little bit more concerned about the teenagers and people who are in college who were forced into isolation and now expected to just pick up where things left off. The children as well, like just anyone under the age of like 23, I'm a little concerned about when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Um, I think it really exacerbated the situation, exacerbated. Okay, exasperated, exacerbated the issue of the Gen Z especially, in which they are they're not the only ones who are chronically online, because there's plenty of people in Gen X and millennials who are chronically online, right? But we had instances where the internet was not the main focal point in our lives, you know what I'm saying? So our mentalities about certain things are different. I feel like people who, as Gen X especially, are less inclined to jump on like the bandwagon when it comes to certain aspects of cancel culture, unless you're in Hollywood, and then that's like playing by a different set of rules. There, they live in a different sort of reality. So ultimately, what I'm saying is, I think the isolation was not good for people, and regardless of whatever that report said that came out, mental health issues skyrocketed during the time for some. There are others, you know, it had like the opposite effect. They were able to get their shit together. But for me, like my mental health, like I got sick during COVID, and not just with like I got COVID. But I also was sick with like other things going. I was very, very sick. I was like the sickest I had been in years actually during the pandemic, and had nothing to do with actual COVID. So, for me, it wasn't very good for me. And human behavior post COVID, I think people are just fucking insane. I'm not gonna lie, but that's a general feeling.
Yeah. Speaking as a father with 3 kids, it was really, really difficult trying to do your job from home while also trying to make sure that uh, your kids are doing remote schooling, teleschooling, whatever you want to call it, and actually learning the things that they needed to learn. So like there was two different things that would end up happening. Either your kid was able to keep up and stay focused when they're not getting the usual social interactions they would get from their classmates that they normally got when they were in school, or they fell behind, and falling behind meant either they were severely affected by that and struggling to get back on track even now, or their school decided to just push them along because it's not their fault that they're doing school from home, and they're still being pushed along without actually learning the material the way they need to learn it. Um, some of these schools really did not like teachers weren't prepared for that kind of transition, and it showed. Schools weren't prepared. I had my kids in private school, in the private, and there was this huge fight between the parents and the school because, like, the school had always been like, "Yeah, we're raising tuition because we need to raise it for something for the school." And then, the kids are all at home, and you're still talking about raising tuition next year for what? Ain't nobody using the facility. Ain't nobody using the school. She raising the so it was like always like these little things that would pop up. In addition to what it did to family dynamics when it comes to people have a routine, and then now they're seeing their significant other more than what they are used to, and coming to find out they don't like that. And
They're like,
that
"I need some time to myself," which is fair, you know?
right, but then you can't have that time to yourself if you're quarantined to your apartment slash house slash whatever, right? And it's just, yeah, it's I think for especially for younger people whose their minds and their personalities aren't as solid as it is for as an adult, it's really difficult for them to deal with those kind of things, and post COVID still try to understand what's the normal, like, life of a seventh grader or 12th grader or second grader supposed to be. um it's wild, but I think it'll end up being something that we'll be seeing studies talking about this generation of kids, or this, the people who lived in this time period are dealing with XYZ due to COVID. We'll be hearing that for like over like decades from now, I think.
Mhm. Okay. Um, all right. So Yobi wants to know, if there's one thing you could change about yourself, what would it be and why? I would like to change my inability to recognize success in myself. I've achieved so many great things, and yet I still feel like a loser like all the time. So I would like to, I mean, I have to figure out a way to change my mindset so I stop thinking of myself as a loser despite all of the things I have worked for and worked to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing for me.
One thing I could change about myself.
I would change in slow mo his inability to go to bed on time. Okay, go ahead.
Sure, there you go. I wish I could go to bed on time.
I mean, and that's something you can work on, slow mo.
One thing I would change about myself. See, that's what angle do I go? Uh, More outgoing, as in approaching people.
Hmm,
There we go.
okay.
That's what I change.
If you
I'd be
had,
a social butterfly, as they say.
that's something you can work on too, buddy.
I
No,
just hate people. They're
eh,
so annoying.
okay. I hate people too, and yet I am a social butterfly. You know. If you had three wishes, what would they be? I don't know. I wish. Uh, Everything I want is something I can work on. So I wish I had a Steam Deck. Why? Do I need one? No. Do I want one? Yes. Why do I want one? Just because I want one. But like there's nothing about it that compels me to actually spend the money, even though I do want it. I feel like I'm not like I need something super valid. Like I need a super valid reason to buy something, and it can't just be because I want it. Um in this case, because I mean I have a fucking powerful gaming PC, you know? So it's one of those things. So I wish I had a Steam Deck just because it's just something I want, but I don't feel like investing that money in. I wish I I wish my friends lived closer to me. I wish the friends I've made on here, like, were closer. That would be really cool. I w I think we'd hang out. Would you, hang out with me in person, Slow-mo?
Sure, absolutely. You
Yeah,
know,
I'd hang out.
you'll be you like my child. You
I'm
know,
the same
people come
height as
by
your
and be like,
kids. I would come up to, like, your hip or something. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Um, and
Put a little backpack on you.
exactly,
Say everybody I'm taking you to school. You know.
exactly. Would you hang out with me, Singer?
Of course.
Okay, exactly. And then my final wish would be to I wish that BioWare wasn't fucking ass. I wish that BioWare could come out with a good fucking game. I wish that the next Dragon Age wasn't DOA. But we beggars can't be fucking choosers. I don't know. Maybe Dragon Age will be okay. It's not, most likely, based on what we've seen so far, but so I mean, okay.
My 3 wishes are all about me, and it's cool. So, the first wish would be I want my own island. Okay. Then,
The
second
island for
wish,
what?
just my own island for myself on my own.
Mm.
Right. Then my second wish would be a little town with all the shops, hospital, all that kind of thing. So it's just a small group of people and me. And then my third wish would be a ton of money. And there we go. I could live my life happily on my own little island, away from everyone. I could fly my friends out whenever I want, and it'll be glorious. I'll be like, "Hey, Luca, you want to come fly over to mine?"
I probably wouldn't go to any sort of island. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, it's giving Far Cry 3 vibes, and I'm just not.
No. It's a safe island.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to, because I hate all the dangerous animals, so they wouldn't be there. Yes.
Okay, shout out I was thinking more of the pirates, but, shout out to Corey Hale with the big dono saying, "As I'm listening while I'm at work, I'm appreciating your detailed responses. Y'all are dope." You're dope! Thank you so much for being a supporter. Love you guys so much. Love you, Corey, man. Appreciate you so much, man. I try to do what I gotta do, baby boos. Okay. Sloma, did you do your 3 wishes?
I did not. I only have one. I wish I had Jeff Bezos' money. That's it.
He is like rich. Okay,
Right,
let's
and
see
then I
here.
can just buy everything else I want.
Okay. So if you had an unlimited budget with no interference, what type of community would you build in society? One where we execute certain types of people with like, like once it's proven that they're like without a doubt guilty, we just execute them, no due process, but they're very, very, very specific types of people. So yeah, but like, ultimately just a positive society. You know what I'm saying? We're yeah, positive society. Nothing like, I think about movies like Minority Report, which is fantastic. And I think it's based on like a short story or something like that.
Yeah.
I love Minority Report. That shit would not fucking work in real life, okay? There's just too many instances of corruption possible. You know what I'm saying? So anyway.
Yeah, it'd be people just I think that happened in the movie. I
Yes, there
vaguely
was
remember it.
corruption.
Yeah, they were just like, nope, yeah, he was going to kill somebody so that they would take somebody out, that kind of
Mhm.
thing. But
If
unlimited budget. You know what? 2 words. I got 2 words for you. Hunger Games.
You're sacrificing children, Slow-mo?
Not children, just the dregs of society nobody cares for. You know?
Ooh. You know what? As long as it wasn't like children, I would be down for that because that was, the most horrifying aspect of Hunger Games is that they were children, and teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to my baby girl, Rue. My baby girl, Rue. Oh, I
Who's
was in
black?
tears.
She's black.
I was in tears when
for,
she died, dude. Like,
for the
especially
people who
because my
didn't get it.
sister was like around that age and she looks like her too. Oh, I was very upset. So there's that. But if it was like the dregs of society, that could be interesting. So go ahead.
Unlimited budget with no interference. Mine's simple. My little society was simple. Remove all the warning labels and danger signs and let the situation sort itself out.
What?
Yeah. As in, remove all the warning labels and just let the situation play out. Those who survive, survive. because
Oh wow,
because
this looks delicious. Oh no, that was a cleaning
no,
product. Now I'm
because
dead.
if it bleach, it's like, well, bleach is only supposed to use in the toilet. If you drink the bleach, I do
What
not
if
need you in my society.
What if you're in this new society and you never grew up with any warning labels, so you don't know that bleach is fucking poisonous?
No, you take them. Yeah, the thing is, it is bleach for the toilet.
Okay.
So if it says bleach for
How
the
do you
toilet,
know? Like, are they going to be labeled at all?
yeah, they can have labels for what they're for. But if
So no Surgeon General's warning for anything, just nothing, just
So everyone's just eating the pink sauce, then basically.
no,
That's a very
it's
specific
solve the
recipe, guys.
situation. Like on let's take a bottle of bleach in my society, for example. It's going to say for the toilet. Okay, cool. So if you decide to open it and drink it, you are clearly not needed in my society because not the
Why?
brightest.
Why would somebody? You know what? Okay, we can just.
But what about like
We can just move
a
on.
1-year-old who isn't stupid, just actually doesn't know anything because they're a blank slate and don't know that you can't drink that.
Okay, but like at the same time, a 1-year-old wouldn't be able to read a label even if it was there somehow. So
But then the parents should be
So
there
it
for
is
the
limited.
child to
But
make
if the
sure.
parents doesn't know because there's no warning label.
Well, the parent
Why
can
are
read
you
it.
as a parent giving your kid something that you wouldn't try first?
Well, I mean, it's talking about a kid having like.
No, but also if you read the bottle, it says it's for the bathroom. It says it's for the toilet. Why would you give your kid something on it that says this is for the
You're not
toilet?
giving your kid. Look, 1-year-olds. No one gives a toddler something that they shouldn't have. Like they find it.
No,
They
I
get
hear what you're
into things.
saying, but him not having labels on certain things isn't going to change a 1-year-old from like drinking something or getting into something they shouldn't.
Yeah, as the chat pointed out, it's called natural selection. I'm going to let the situation resolve itself.
Okay, so does this go as far as also not having like antibiotics or like medicine?
Oh no! You have all that stuff. No. So if you still have all that.
Because at one point in
Because
time,
like
natural
I'm allergic
selection
to
was.
penicillin.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just putting. So what if
So-
it's not labeled and I don't know it's like penicillin? And
Well, if you go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, you're allergic to penicillin," okay, this. But if people go,
But what
"Oh,
if I don't know that I'm allergic and like they give it to me and I almost die, but they just let me die because I
Natural
took it?
selection, Luca.
That's it. No, because before you take the medicine, you go to your doctor to check if you're allergic. That's the logical thing to do.
Okay.
If I'm unsure about tablets I'm taking, you know what I do? I ring up the doctor and I say, "By the way, should I be taking this?" And then they tell me yes or no. And if I
what
die,
if in your society, because there's no warnings or anything, he's like, I don't know. Singer, let's find out.
Well, no, but he's a trained doctor, so he knows.
But the training would be different in this society. It would be based on different things because you're not.
Yeah, the doctors know what to. I'm on about everything in the shops. Everything out and about is no warning labels. So when you go into
That's
the
a good
shop,
point. Wait a second. So Aunt Tony Pony and Aunt Tony Pony's like, what about those things that contain like peanuts, but people are allergic to peanuts, but it's not labeled on what the food item is. So the person ingesting it doesn't know that it has something in it that can kill them.
Oh, well, natural selection.
No,
what?
That's not
See,
natural
that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Because Singer, look,
exactly.
I am someone
Someone would
is
die.
allergic to peanuts. But
no.
I'll be eating. So hold on. I'll be eating something that does not contain peanuts, but there'll be a label said, "Hey, whoopsie, we may have created this, or it may have been at some point inside of a container that did contain peanuts. So hey, eat at your own risk," kind of label. And it's like, if you don't put that in there, I have zero idea why I just ate some Jello and now I'm choking to death.
Here's the thing: there's no warning labels, but on the back in the ingredients list it says may contain nuts. If you do not go back and
that's a warning.
No, but it's not plastered there. It says may contain nuts on the back. So if you read it on the back, may contain nuts, if you still decide to eat it because you couldn't be bothered to read
Singer,
what
what's
was
the
Okay,
in
so
it,
maybe
purpose of
this is like
adding?
maybe this is like a
this is
difference
tested.
between America versus where you're at because they have like separate warnings for if an item contains like peanuts. It won't just
Right.
be on the
It's not
ingredient.
included in the regular ingredients like sugar, flour, blah blah blah. No, it lists all the actual ingredients they took to actually make the product, and then at the bottom, because they're too cheap to have separate containers when they make these things, they say, "Hey, this may have been this was created in a container that it had peanuts in it, so it might have peanuts in this." You know, basically.
In the society, being reading comprehension and generally being smart is
But
rewarded. If you
Singer,
don't
you have
do
an
those things,
unlimited what was it? Unlimited
yeah,
resources? Why don't they just have unlimited containers so they don't have these issues?
no. But then you let all the stupid people die, all the smart people live, and then the society will just improve because we'll constantly be having smart, sane, rational people, and it would, it eventually,
I just,
evolve.
personally speaking, when it comes to dystopias, because that's a dystopia singer. When it comes
Hmm.
to dystopia, I mean, don't get me wrong, my world would be a dystopia as well, as well as slow mo's. Like we are creating dystopias, right? When it comes to dystopias, there are like plenty of ways that you can find fault and in a system. You know what I'm saying? Like every system has flaws, and yours is extremely flawed. But you know what? We
Extremely.
all want different things in life, so we're just gonna move on from that. Thank you for
It's all
sharing.
right. Singer, we would just place you
And my society.
no, in my society, you would be placed in the Hunger Games to fight. But if you survive, you'll be completely forgiven, and we would have no problems with you, and you'd be set up for life.
I mean, there's no warning label slow mo, so in my society, I wish you luck. Godspeed.
So, what do you define? Oh, I'm sorry. If you could have a one-on-one conversation with any celebrity on your show, who would it be and why? It would be Jenna Ortega because I'm obsessed with her right now. So yeah.
I have no idea.
Probably
Celebrity.
that hot chick from Forspoken, for Flop Spoken.
Oh, either her or hold on, let me get her name because I'm always forgetting her name. Tristan Mays. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I guess Singer's not going to answer. So,
famous people, one-on-one.
Mhm.
Oh, I would definitely love to talk to Phil Spencer.
Oh
okay,
my god.
all right. So, we all want different people, I suppose. So, what do you define? What do you what do you define as success in your own words? Success is achieving the goals that you set forth.
I agree with that. And that is different for every single person.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
If you can write your own book, what would it be about? So it would be about this character who feels lost in their life, like they're not going anywhere. They feel like a loser, right? But it turns out that they're not a loser because they're destined for something bigger. But that something bigger isn't necessarily a good thing, So anyway, it'd be something like that.
If I was to write a book, it'd be about the memoirs of a dog shit developer called Square Enix.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
If I were to write a book, actually, I'm not going to talk about what it's about because I still might write it, and I don't want nobody to steal my idea.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So El Whiteo says, we ain't got no topic suggestions. I mean, some people do, El White. And then Smitty said, if you can get away with one thing with no
Smitty.
consequences, what would you do? I would rob Elon Musk. Yeah.
I'm robbing Jeff Bezos. I'm going back to like Jeff Bezos need to watch out, man. Like
I'm coming. Actually, yeah, Jeff Bezos is good. I was gonna say one of the Saudi princes because they got a ton of money. But yeah,
I feel like 33% of my answers from the top, the suggestions were taking Jeff Bezos' money. So yeah.
Okay. So John Don says, if you could wipe your mind of a oh my goodness, if you could wipe your mind of the experience of reading a manga or comic book movie or anime, wait, okay. If you could wipe your mind of the experience of reading a manga or comic that a comic book movie or anime was based on and could watch the comic book movie or anime without the source material, which would you choose and why? Um, I'm not a big comic fan,
Hmm.
so I won't do that. If I could watch the anime without having read the manga first. Oh, okay, let's see here.
Ooh,
I
that's
I
tough.
maybe I think if I had watched the Record of Ragnarok anime before I read the manga, I probably I wouldn't have as much of an issue as I have with the Record of Ragnarok anime that I do, because I wouldn't realize that the manga is significantly better, you know? Because I read that manga first and then the anime came out and I was like, oh no. So I feel like if I had watched the anime first, I would be like, oh, this is this is such a cool concept, even though like it's kind of sketchy and something. Like I watch anime that is sketchy in some areas. And by sketchy, I mean like story wise, sketchy, like the demon, wait, the Misfit of Demon High is
Oh, fantastic.
it's kind of got some sketchy story beats and character moments, but I do genuinely love that fucking anime. I am having so much fun with it. Anos, I mean,
Hey,
who is a
Luca,
man? That's a man. Okay,
Luca,
that's a man
I
right
got.
there.
Did you really think you could kill me by killing me?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That he listen, Anos Moldy Gold, that's
He
a
is a
man right
Chad.
there. That
That
is
is
a
a
Chad.
Chad.
Okay?
That's a Giga Chad.
Real men are back. Okay, so so yeah, it would be Record of Ragnarok.
Wait. So what? What anime without reading the manga?
Mhm.
Would I enjoy? Well,
Mm.
without reading the manga, Magical Index,
Ooh, I do love me some Magical Index.
because that is a standalone show without the manga is fire.
It's
Like,
very good. Yeah.
so
Mhm.
I'd use that as my choice.
I
So
probably would have real quick, I probably would have enjoyed season 3 more if I hadn't read the World War III arcs
Mm-hmm.
in the light novel first. I would have enjoyed it more if I had just watched the anime version.
Oh yeah.
hmm. So this is if we're only choosing IP that you read the manga first, then watch the anime
Or comics, yes.
or comics. I mean, you guys know I don't read, I don't watch too much anime, and I read even less manga. But I did actually read Akira before seeing the movie,
Mm.
Mm?
and they left so much stuff out of or like melded characters together kind of deal and from the manga to the movie. The movie's excellent, of course, right? It's an excellent movie, but I would have preferred to just see the movie and not have those thoughts in my mind like, oh, I know why they did this. Oh, they skipped on this part. Well, that's not how it really played out in the manga, like that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Just like I just
I've
rather
heard it's
that not
very,
be in my
very
mind.
different. Very,
Yes,
very different.
extremely different. Yeah.
So, because I saw the Akira movie, and I don't really have any interest in the manga. It takes a very specific kind of piece of media to get me to read the source material. Example, Gone Girl. I saw Gone Girl without being spoiled. And so, like, at the beginning, I was just trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And, like, the twist, I was like, okay. And I was like, Gillian Flynn, say less. And I went and I read the book. The book is significantly better than the movie, but the movie is still very good. So I'm happy I watched that movie first and then I read the book. But yeah, it does take a very specific kind of media in regards to like quality to even get me to consider reading the source material. And so even though I love Akira, I do feel like it's fantastic in itself and I have no interest in reading the manga. Even
Shout
though
out
I
Yeah.
to
hear it's very detailed.
It's
shout out to
yeah.
Texas in the chat. Um, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? They have in this arc they're currently on is so freaking fire, and I can't wait because I'm watching it every week. And also, you read the back material of Misfit of Demon High, right, Luca?
What now?
You know the Misfit of Demon High
I read the what?
source material?
No, I actually randomly came across the anime, and I've not read.
Oh, okay. I won't say anything then. Never
All
mind.
right. Okay. What I like to hear.
Because I don't want you to, yeah. But either way, yeah, great choices.
All right. But shout out to my boy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on out of here. Okay, let me just go ahead and pull this up. There was another thing I wanted to take a look at. I was going to ask people to watch this video and tell me what's wrong here. But you know what? I'm gonna save it for next week because I can save. This guy. This seems like a guy who likes being humiliated. You know what I'm saying? So it's about that dude who.
I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So shout out to Tevin, H Dog, shout out my boy H Dog, Derek, Stankball, King Metrotron, Lionel, JB, Meat Puppet, Scrotum, Phil, Alex, DQ, John Vadon, Smokes, Jurinza, Stardust, Outlaw, Risk. Oh, I'm. Okay. Oh, yeah. Risk It, Stone, Dexflex, Starbuck, Drav, Kenny, DC, Texas, Shogun, Mike, It's Me Baby, Big Daddies, Smitty, Long Game Larry, Iman, Plus on the Block podcast, El Huayto, Subnegros or X-Man, Yobi, MJ, Jazzy, Erodimus, Inbandy, Damian Dom Strictly, Sir Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Danelle Breesky, Corey, Light Strife, Ajay Bari, Arcade Pepitio, Nautical, Jet, Brandon, Envy, Jarrell, Slomo, and Hannibal for being members of the channel. Nothing but much love and respect to my boys. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to all the super chat support. Shout out to everyone who hung out in the chat with us, and then shout out to everyone who listens later. I am so sorry about these fucking tangents we went on. Like, I'm thinking back on it, we really sat there and dissected Singer's fucking dystopia for no reason. Like, why did we do that? But it was because I just couldn't let it go. I was like,
It
wait
was
a second,
necessary.
This shit doesn't make any sense
It
to
was
me. Like, I
necessary.
had to question it, you know?
Oh yeah, and rightfully so. But I stand by everything I stated. Yes, sir.
Yes,
As you should.
I would like to say, wait, hold on one second. One second. Okay, so True Bleed made a comment about how we would survive in a scary movie. And I'm like, yes, we would.
Absolutely.
As long as it wasn't fucking supernatural. Like, as long as it's not supernatural, like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, good, right? But if it's some motherfucker in a goddamn mask running around and tripping over things, first of all, I don't answer my phone.
Right.
I don't even answer my
From a
door.
phone number that I don't know, not answering.
Secondly,
That's strike one.
Exactly.
Because you can't scare me.
Secondly, if I'm like friends with people for I feel like I have a pretty good handle on most of my friends' personalities. So I know which of my friends is a sketchy sketcher. Okay. So if one of us was killing people, we're all getting in a room.
I already know who it is.
And that too.
Yeah,
but
I already know, like,
we're all getting in a room together and we're gonna fucking figure out who's the killer. Okay, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna start asking questions like, where were you during this? What were you doing this time?
So it just becomes a murder mystery.
Exactly, because there's just no fucking way that if I'm being stalked by a serial killer, that like I'm letting him get me. Okay, you're gonna have to fucking. Don't be fair. Like in Scream, they definitely fight. Okay, they definitely fight. And Ghostface is a goofy goober in the first 2 Scream movies, just tripping over things.
Yeah.
Having shit thrown at him. It's really funny. So
like, I'm sorry, just like one, like you, I'm not answering my phone, so you're never gonna be like, hey, slow mo. Look, as soon as you start with that, hey, slow mo, I'm hanging up the phone.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not entertaining this. Sorry.
I'm not staying on the phone with you, okay?
And if you call me again with you hang up again, I got you like a fish. All right, fam, I got a gun right here. What's up, bro?
Like, and literally, though, why don't they just have guns and knives on them 24/7?
You like, no, especially in rural America. Come on, you telling me in a rural town in America in the 90s?
Exactly.
Y'all couldn't just open carry a gun when you know a serial killer's on the loose in your little
Exactly.
town with
Exactly.
one school and
Exactly.
like
Ev-
5
even-
stoplights? Get the freak out of here. yo.
Even in the UK, like doors locked, answer the phone, and if they're like, "I'm gonna come around and kill you," it's like, step foot over the door, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'll get away with it because I've stand my ground. But it's like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like half these people, it's really everyone here would definitely survive.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
There is no way.
And worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna leave town.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna get in the car
I
and
don't need
leave.
to stay here.
Exactly.
I don't know if I don't know who it is. I don't feel safe. The police are hopeless, but I have a car.
Like, I'm out of there like fucking swimwear, baby.
I don't
Like,
even
I'm
know
not-
where I'm going. I'm just going to
I'm out.
drive.
I'm all like,
until-
listen, you're not killing me, okay?
Nope.
So anyway, we can just move on from that. Okay, so thanks so much for coming through, Singer.
Yes, thank you for a great show. Being able to get my Square Enix rant off. Yes.
All right. Slow.
Yo, great show as usual. You guys have a great weekend, and that's it, man. Peace.
All right, I'll catch you boys and any girls in there, any of my non-binary folks, if you're in there. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Go watch Scream 6.